Welcome everyone to another episode of the Definitive Crusade. I am your host, joining the machine, Hughes, and we have some cracking books for you later in the show. Joining me as always, the incomparable Freyja.
Hi,
how's it going?
everyone. It's going good. It's going good.
Good. Getting ready for your Halloween going on there, yeah?
Yep. Everything's all Halloweened up.
Okay. And returning is the knight himself. Matthew, how's it going?
I saw, dude. It's going on. You said I didn't realize we were discussing the Kraken in the books. No. Okay.
No.
You said we had some Kraken books, so.
My accent is just like, you know. After all this time, Matthew, you still, well.
Look, I gotta fit in a classic joke every now and then.
Yeah, when you get one, can you let me know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Emphasis on every now and then.
Yeah, just every now and again, yeah. Once in a while. Once in a blue moon.
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Right, we have 4 books. Well, 3 books is an absolute massive thing to look at. We're going to start off with this particular book, which was Matthew's choice. This is Sword of Azrael number 3 out of 6. It's written by Dan Waters. He only picked this because I can't say the name. It's Nicola, I'm going to say Sismazea, or whatever. Colors Marissa Louise, thank you. Letters by Hassan Otsman Alawu. And I've got to say congratulations to Matthew. You have managed to find a character I care less about than Jason Todd.
Hey, you're welcome. Yeah. Funnily enough, I actually also really like Azrael. I know Johnny and I just can't seem to agree on things.
All right, this is your book. Take it away. What's going on?
Well, this is number 3 out of 6 in the issue, and I haven't read the first 2, so there's some stuff that I'm missing on. But we jump right in to where Jean is stuck in Athens. He wakes up and he's like, I don't remember exactly what happened. There's a bit of stuff before that talking about kind of who Azrael is, how he became, talking about the whole experiment of trying to make man into angels and so on and so forth. But the reason I really like Azrael as a character, he's admittedly not one of my favorites. There's some things with the character, and especially how DC has written him within recent books that makes him definitely want to be put on the back burner, in my opinion. But I do really like the concept of duality of man that they try to involve with this character, having man conflict with the angel aspect, because a lot of media we see man versus like the demon side of it. So it's a nice little twist, and that's kind of why I enjoy the character.
It's a nice spot. Well done, Matthew.
As I said, John is in Athens. He's like, I don't know exactly how I got here. Even Azrael is like, my memories are splintered. I don't exactly remember what's going on, but there's something up. And so apparently in a previous issue, a kid has gone missing. He's just arrived in Athens, and these guys are about to be like, you are a stranger. What a coincidence that you should show up. And then the day immediately after, a child goes missing, and we have to hold a funeral. And so they try to beat him up. He defends himself. And then it goes into a little bit more explanation that over the course of the past few years, that regularly once a year, a child will go missing. And they've kind of believed it to be a monster within the mountains. And this kind of sparks an interest in John and Azrael, and they're kind of guided through the mountains to try to discover exactly what this is. Apparently, it has some ties to something that Azrael was related to in the past, the Knights of the Order, the Templars, and so he jumps down the hole. And I also really like the artwork, the little shivs that he has. I think they're a cool little concept. They would definitely cinder his arms off if he tried to ignite them and use them in reality, because they're like blazing hot. He's wearing fabric. It would catch his clothes on fire. That's something else entirely.
When did reality ever make sense in comics?
I know exactly. That's what
this is superheroes.
It's like Batman fires his rope onto the top of a building. The rope never runs out, and then he swings between them. It's like his rope's not on the building; it's in the sky.
But this is like a thing of mine. Like bladed weapons are really cool when you attach them to the forearm, but when you proceed to apply some kind of science to that, or physics, whether it be having electricity, catching them on fire, so on and so forth, it just bothers me personally.
But it looks
because
cool.
It doesn't make sense. It looks cool. It looks super cool. Do not get me wrong. But if they are hot enough to instantly turn the metal, that shade of red, bright enough to where it can illuminate his surroundings, then it would just burn through all of his equipment. It doesn't make sense. But that's regardless. But Johnny is scrolling through and getting ahead of me on the story. He goes through. Yeah, he's like, I don't care about this. Come on, hurry up, scroll.
No, go for it. I was just trying to keep up with what you were saying. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
There's the red blades. There you go.
Yeah. But Azrael and John are down here, and they see the ghost or spirit of Saint Dumont, who then talks to them about like, hey, there were also experiments done here. Kind of the same thing that they did to you in the past, but something a little different. And turns out that they were also trying to make an angel within this facility, like what they did with Azrael. But this was a prototype that they had, a prototype that was meant to be so powerful that it would take back the land, the Holy Lands, single-handedly by itself. And that angel was named Satan. And so instead of Azrael, it's kind of a similar aspect where they've shoved an idea or an angel into a person to make it extremely powerful. And they were kind of successful, kind of not, because he has to sustain himself, right? And so that's where all these disappearances come from, is that the kids and stuff that walk into the mountains, he takes them, chops them up, takes their hearts, implants it in himself to give himself life, to continue living until he finds one strong enough to where he can leave the mountain and fulfill his purpose, which is to take back the Holy Lands, wherever they may be, and lead destruction and death everywhere he goes. And so Azrael discovers this, and he's like, I've got to stop you. And that's kind of where we leave off, is he's in the process of fighting this, and we see him lose, or about to lose.
God, what's going to happen?
Probably a bunch of plot armor is going to happen to where it prevents him from dying.
I'm not saying anything. You are right, because I do not care. But yeah.
So, sorry.
Tis the season for it.
Tis the season, yeah, and
tis the season to be coughing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Azrael is very much a character that he's not a bad character. He's just a badly written character, which I feel like happens to a lot of characters. Like DC has a huge arsenal of characters and side characters and villains that they never use, and when they use them, they don't know what they're doing, and then they make them terrible. And then even current ones, like I love John. You know, I love like when he was a kid, but I can't stand him now. Like the Superman books with him, I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. Let me hang on. Let me get a drink.
Oh my God, we've given it a drink.
Oh God.
My good God.
Anywho,
it doesn't count. Her avatar.
If the mountains turn blue, it's cold enough to drink.
Yeah, but like Azrael, if he was well written, he could be very interesting. This story, I think, is interesting. It's not like something I'd go out of my way to buy constantly, but it is interesting. I will agree with you. The story's interesting. I didn't read the other two books, but I could kind of get what's going on. He'll have some plot armor near the end, obviously, with whether it's that other angel that they were talking about at the beginning coming in and, you know, saving the day kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting, the turning the humans into angels type of thing. It's very bizarre. So I think this is interesting and worth a read. Even if you don't like Azrael, just kind of take a look at it in the comic book shop and like see if it's something. See if it's something for you. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Everyone has their own different taste. But I actually kind of enjoyed it. Oddly enough, the artwork though.
Go on. This is what I was waiting for. Let me get to the right page. Let me get to the right page, because what happens to his eyes? Where do they go?
That's an Johnny. I know you're not an anime fan. It's
that's
an anime
man.
trope.
It is. I was like, oh, we got some anime going on.
Fair enough. I might not be an anime fan, right? And that's fine. Right? You can look down your nose at me for all you like for not being an anime fan, but don't be mixing it up. Don't be like thinking, oh well, this is stuff. So this book goes from your little anime bit there to this garish color scene for no reason whatsoever. And then where did their face go? Second panel down. Where did that go?
Yeah.
It's like it can't all be anime.
Yeah.
Look, I'll agree with you. It's not the best on artwork, but there are a couple things that I actually like. The colorful scene that you complained about, I actually thought was really cool because it shows the splintering of John's mind.
Okay.
Like when they put Azrael into his brain and made them become one, it splintered both of their identities and both of their minds. And I thought it was a pretty decent representation of it.
Here's
Been
my
there,
thing.
done that before. That's all I'm saying.
The color, I agree. The color, like those colored panels were really well done. However, they also are extremely out of place with the rest of the book. I will give Johnny that. They just kind of are just it was like a weird shift in art style. And it's not replicated anywhere else in the book. And now if they did that in another book earlier, then maybe. But yeah, it is a very weird style shift that they did. It never happens again. And then with the glasses thing, I just kind of laughed at it because I'm like, oh yeah, it's that manga anime trope with the glasses guy with shit's about to go down because his eyes disappeared and he's pushing the glasses up.
The glare.
I just don't understand. I mean, I don't understand. And because I mean, we've talked about those panels, but this panel here with the old bloke, that is a gorgeous piece of art, and yet that is on the same page as the same bloke. That's the same bloke above him holding the bottle, and it looks nothing like him.
Yeah,
it's like I get different styles. I understand, one style for one artist, one style for another. But for Christ's sakes, can you not just keep the art consistent on the same page? That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The art, if you go farther down to when he's suiting up, and I do like the design of his suit. I will say that I like the design. It's very I'm gonna say it reminds me of Diablo. Diablo 3 or Diablo 4 when you're fighting the angels. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I don't know why. I need to go play that again. But it does remind me of the angels in Diablo. So I like that design. However, I don't understand when he's suiting up, why all of a sudden it gets to the waist and then everything just is like everything just lost definition. Like it's just flat.
They used all their emphasis on the abs.
Yeah, I was like, all the emphasis is on the abs and the arms, and then it's just flat and nothing right there.
Maybe they need to change his name to Absriel.
Hey, look, I'll give you that one. That was good. That was good, Johnny.
But yeah, it kind of bothered me, and it still bothers me because all of a sudden there's like no definition, no lines. It's just a square of red, like you would make an M in MS Paint and then you'd fill in the red as a kid. That's what it looks like. I'm like, where are the lines? Where is his because the V or the anything?
Where's the bulge? Give me the bulge.
Not even the bulge. It's just there's no line definition on anything. It's just straight down, and then it just because when you wear pants, there's gathering in the crotch area anyway because that it's just. It bothers me, and then it also the same thing when he's flying in. I know they kind of did it with like the shading a bit, but it still is that matte, like flat looking. I don't even know what to call it, but it looks unfinished, and I do not like that because it doesn't really like. I didn't notice it happening anywhere else to that degree, like except for maybe his legs later on when he's walking with the ghost. But like, it's so just out of place. It really feels like they didn't have time to just finish anything in the art, and it really bugged me because the rest of it, it's just.
I think there are some really standout pieces. I mean, this bit where it meets Saint Dumas, spot on, perfect. The old man face that I pointed out, great. Yeah. There are bits that have a great deal of merit to them. What I feel about the art is that they like doing the key bits, the really big, powerful pieces, but they can't be that bothered about how you get there. So it's kind of like a rush. I've put all my effort into these 2 killer pages. Now it's a rush to get from point A to point B to point C just for the payoff pages. And I think that pretty much shows in the book for me.
Yeah. Just do cover art then.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't even mind that panel. That page is great.
Yeah, but like because of the certain beautiful panels, all of the like rushed looking ones stand out even more because you're like, why is the quality dropping? It's a quality drop, and you're like, what the crap? Like when he comes in through and he's like, when Satan shows up, it looks pretty good, and then you go and you get like, ugh, later on.
I just read Satan as being Azrael's version of Bane, and that was like, I'm done now. So
also, what size is he?
Honestly,
like sorry? I feel like the Satan character, he just changes sizes throughout the fight.
He's Optimus Prime, that's why.
Because at the very end, like when he's fighting him originally, it kind of looks like he comes up to like his waist or something.
Yeah.
But then when it's later, he blocks it with his forearm, and he's not even like the size of his forearm, and then he's trying to pluck his heart out with his fingernails. And like it's just the size of this guy. I don't know. Maybe it was a scaling issue with the art, or just me.
That is 12 inches, right though? Okay.
Never mind. I'm gonna ignore that joke.
Yeah, we're gonna move past that.
Moving on.
Hey, what can I say? Brits and metric, right? So there you go, a bit of a mixed bag for our first book. If you're an Azrael fan, I'm sure you'll get something out of it. If you're not an Azrael fan, there's probably nothing in there to warrant you becoming one. Freyja had an absolutely fantastic point. He is a character that has been misused. Do you remember? Excuse me. Do you remember when he was on Justice League Odyssey? For no reason whatsoever. Why would Azrael be in a spaceship in the core sector?
I don't know. Everyone was misused in that book. Seriously, let's be honest.
But
why would Jessica Cruz, who has severe anxiety, be out there by herself, all alone? Yeah. I'm like, no, I have severe anxiety, and there's no freaking way. I have a hard time going to the store alone. Like, it's not gonna happen.
But in Arkham Knights, though, in the Arkham Knight series or game, Batman Arkham, when he showed up in Azrael, and that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not Arkham Knights. It was.
I was like, I don't know, Arkham Knights. I think it was like Arkham City. Arkham City. Yeah.
You had to spot them in like 4 several places, then screw the map around to find out where you'd have your final battle with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
loved it.
See, I can game it up. Well, I said that I only own my 4 games that I own. 3 have the word Batman and Arkham in it. The other one's a Madness game. So there you go.
Are you excited about the new Batman game coming out?
No, because I don't have a PS5.
But the thing is, they've recently announced that it will be on PC and all console games will be locked at 30 FPS.
What's that mean? What's that
30 frames per second. It's very, very upsetting news for us who are in the console community.
Well, I don't have
it on PS5, but
because a lot of games go up to like 60 or something now, don't they?
I don't have a PC. So having it on the PC is, I'm using a Mac, so bollocks to it.
I
can't justify spending that amount of money for a console for just one game. Because I'm not a gamer really. You know, I play the Batman games and I play Madden's and that's it. So
yeah. He's like the opposite of me. I have like a shelf full of all the game consoles.
yeah.
You got a
Like,
wall.
I do.
Sorry.
Like I have like the minis for the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo, and then I have like the GameCube, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360.
I mean, if you're doing that, I've got a PS, I've got a PS7. I'll just tape my 3 and 4 together. That'll do it.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah. That's how you do math. Yes.
Exactly. That's how that works.
And as we're talking zany, it seems like a perfect time to jump onto our second book. This is the second volume of the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. This is number 1 of 12. We're starting at the top and working our way down. Written by Shorty Fish, art by Dario Brazulia, colors by Franco Risco, and letters by Sede Temafonte. This little beauty of a book was selected by Freyja.
Yeah!
So
I'm
Freyja,
excited.
Like, dude, it was totally picked by her.
I love it. I greatly enjoyed this book. But then again, I grew up watching like the Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And Scooby-Doo,
where are you?
and Scooby-Doo featuring with like they had the old Adam West Batman and Don Knotts and all that. I love those so much. I want to buy them all. But like I love this. It's old Scooby-Doo and it's kind of old Batman and Robin from the animated series versions. This is, I feel like, kind of tying into the Batman Incorporated book that's coming out, if it's not already out.
Yeah.
Because this book introduces a ton of different superheroes that are like Batman related. Well, with varying quality. But it's typical Scooby-Doo. They have the ghost miner and they fight him and they unmask him and he's working for Ra's al Ghul. And they're trying to figure out what the crap's going on. And so they're trying to figure out where Raj is. And they go to all these different places like Argentina and where else did they go? They went
England. La la la. La 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 la.
And they have, they run into all these different bat people, and they unmask people. And I think the thing in England was condos. But you're like, that's not right. It's also like a mix of like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Like they went to the wrong place in England, but they need to figure out where he is. It's very fun. It's very much for kids. I do like how they actually ended up in Batman in Turkey. This whole thing is just ridiculous.
That's an actual place.
I know, and that's what makes it better. It's just so ridiculous. Cool. I love it. And I love how Shaggy's like, I wonder if they have Scooby-Doo in a city called Scooby-Doo in India and stuff. It's just stupid humor, but it's very much Scooby-Doo, and I love it. And I really thought, I don't know who that guy is, the one they met in Argentina. I just kept thinking Zorro. But I know that's not Zorro because Bat Zorro. But I liked it. I did like at the end how Daphne is being awesome Daphne because she's not a weakling. She picks up a sword and fights Raj just to like keep him busy until they're done with their trap. So it was fun. It was cute. It's very much I think it's for all ages if you like Scooby-Doo, like original Scooby-Doo. Sometimes you just need to clear your palate with all the seriousness. It gets just straight up silly stuff. And if you like Batman the Animated Series, you'll like the designs of Robin and Batman. And it's actually just all in that style. I also love everyone just acted like themselves. Like it was great. I miss Scooby-Doo. Like original Scooby-Doo.
Classic Scooby-Doo.
Classic Scooby-Doo. Yeah. I love it. And so I recommend this book if you like classic Scooby-Doo or just classic Batman. Well, animated series type Batman.
I expect the Scrappy-Doos on the side of the bad guys though. So.
Oh no, it's Scrappy, no.
Put Scrappy-Doo as the mastermind behind it all.
Yeah, he comes out of Raj's pocket or his face.
Roz's face opens up and it's Scrappy like, ah!
Yeah. Oh, got away with it too. It wasn't for you, Uncle Scooby.
Puppy
Matthew.
power, man. Puppy power.
Oh my
Puppy power. Peas on everything. Jeez. I'm of the same opinion as Freyja. You know, it was a good book. The one artwork thing that just really bugged me is can be seen on the screen you were just showing.
Raj.
With Raj and his beard that look like horns that are growing out of his chin.
But that's how he.
I know, but it's
the style of him.
It doesn't look like hair. It looks like someone like it looks like a septum piercing, but for his chin. That's what it looks like to me. And so it's minor, but it bothered me.
You mean they should have added more lines to make it look like hair?
Yeah, just at least like a couple gray lines through it, just to give it something. But yeah, I found myself like trying to voice the characters while reading through this, specifically Shaggy and Scooby. Like Scoob, I really hope all of our cases are like this.
I have their voices in my head.
So I have. Thanks. I have an alternative art issue.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thought Alfred had hair?
I know. I was like, who is that person?
I know he's been dead a while, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, what's going on there? I enjoyed the book. It was fun for what it is. My only other issue with it is, considering it's a Scooby-Doo mystery book, there's not an awful lot of Scooby-Doo in it. It doesn't do a lot.
Nope.
I don't know, because the cast is like so immense in this one with all the different Batmen running around, Batman, Robin, and the Scooby Gang. There's only so much screen time goes to each character, so I don't know if you're going to call a book Scooby Doo, then Scooby Doo should actually do something. It's not a migraine book where it says the Avengers and the Avengers aren't in it. Yeah. So I just kind of that an X-Men. Yeah, that was probably my main issue about the book. Other than that, yeah, it was fun. There are other places in England than Stonehenge, though. Just saying.
At the very end, to kind of play off a phrase mention on it, possibly tying into the Batman Incorporated, they actually have a line that says, "The Mystery Inc., huh? Maybe we should start calling ourselves the Batman Inc." And it was just like, okay.
Yeah. It's totally a tie-in book for the new, Batman Incorporated, which is fine, but
cool.
It is what it is.
Cool. Right, before we jump in our last two books, time for an ad break. I don't think we've heard this one for a while, so here we go. Check it out. It says now. There you go, the Think Tank featuring that guy down there.
It's me.
Cool. For everything you need to know about Magic the Gathering, game packs, opening packs, gameplay, anything for the noobs all the way through to the experienced gamers.
Yeah. Did you buy the I was gonna say, did you buy the My Little Pony pack?
No, I did not. But we did release an episode recently talking about the Warhammer 40K products and even showing the gameplay from that. So go check it out. Cool. We have two special guests on that episode.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Cool. Well done. Right. Okay. Next up, we have an 80-page special just in time. It's our early Halloween present. It is the DC's Terrors Through Time. Now, we normally, when we get these, is someone howling there? When we get these, we tend not to go through every story because there's like 8 of them, and we only have so much time.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have a favorite they'd like to start us off on?
I'll go.
Go.
My favorite one it's pretty close to the beginning. It's the one with Superboy and Robin when they switched.
So this is the Super Sons in Trick or Treat, written by Sholly Fish, who's the guy who did the Scooby-Doo book, by the way. Art by Luciano Vecchio, colors by Wendy Broom, letters by Wes Abbott. Now let me just get to the right bit because it's a little bit wonky. It's about there. There we go. Yay! Perfecto. Go on then. What was so good about this?
Well, first of all, I love the Super Sons. I love Damien and John together as friends. It's adorable, and I love their interactions with each other because they're polar opposites. Also, I thought this was cute where they switched their costumes. I don't know. I think they're adorable. And I'm so angry they aged John up. I'm so angry. But yeah, I like especially like this where he's making fun of Superboy, and then you know John's making fun of Damien, and it's cute. And then they go I don't know whose bright idea it was, probably John's, to go trick-or-treating to everyone's strongholds, which doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, because they're gonna totally be giving out candy, John.
Totally.
So, you know. So they go first to his dad's, and then they go to like the Bat Cave, and David's like, seriously, why did you think my dad would be here at night? Like, what? And then they go to Themyscira, which obviously doesn't work out very well, even with their silly loophole and you know, and it's cute. And then they go to there we go to the Hall of Justice, where everyone's captured by
them guys.
Them guys, little demons.
The demon trio.
Yeah, and they're trying to like suck them down to hell or you know something. I can't remember, but
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wait.
But it was a fun story. It was a Super Son saving the Justice League again type of story, and it was cute.
Was it supposed to be the Demon 3? Is that what it was supposed to be?
I think maybe, yeah. But I just thought the story was cute and it was fun. And I tried to go through all of these stories, and this one was the one that I thought I liked the most. It wasn't none of them really were spooky, obviously. This one was just cute and fun. So
Wonder Woman in bondage. There you go.
Yeah, Johnny, I knew you would like that.
Hey. Don't know what you're trying to say, Matthew.
One weakness.
Yeah, well, that and fishnets. All right.
Johnny, I think we're going to surprise our viewers by this one, but I think you and I actually had the same book as listed as our favorite.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Go on then.
But
did you go?
My favorite was Etrigan.
Etrigan's a good shout. Let me just find the right page. That's after the Green Lantern.
When was the last time? When was the last time we even saw Etrigan?
Metals.
Was he in Metals?
Yeah.
I know he was in another Halloween issue. He was in DC, or not DC. It was Batman and Superman versus Vampires and Werewolves. That was a while back.
Maybe last Halloween.
Yeah, he always seems to pop up around Halloween. He's one of those characters that they like to ignore until Halloween.
I do like this. This isn't my favorite, but I do like this. This is my second favorite. By sure, but it's a good shout. So
no surprising the readers this time or the viewers this time.
I think it's a good shout. So Etrigan, do we have credits on this, or I'll soon pass them? Let me get the credits up for Etrigan.
All right.
Etrigan, written by Matthew Levine, art by Jorge Corona, colors by Sarah Stern, letters by Travis Lanham. He's on page 64, so it's about there. There you go. Cool.
Perfect.
It's like I'm getting good at this, isn't it? It's like I know what I'm doing.
It's like you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. So what do you like about this story then?
First off, I really like the artwork. Oddly enough, it was very well done. It was very cartoony, but also it wasn't like the Azrael that we looked at earlier, where it was cartoony, but there were spots where it was just not filled in. This one, they actually paid mind to the detail in pretty much every single panel.
So when you said manga before, when you said anime before, Matthew, let's see this middle panel here with the kid with the big eye. Yeah. That's when I hear people say anime, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of blank looks. Yeah.
No, not all anime have that. It is one of those tropes. Admittedly, it is one of those tropes, but that's just so that the characters can have emphasis on their eyes, because a lot of their storytelling and emotions through anime is done through their eyes and facial expressions. So,
yep,
it's a trope, but it's very well done. It's a very interesting story. It's a wandering person walking through the city, and they're talking about in the background where, or he's doing his inner monologue where he's like, I tried to keep my demons inside, and doing his whole thing. And then he comes into the tavern. He's like, hey, can I have a drink? And then lady walks in, the one that was showing earlier with her child, is like, my child's been taken. And which, of course, he has to go through and try to find him because it's his duty as a knight. And he goes in, finds the demon, and sure enough, he's the one that's been stealing children, and he's going to be using them to like grant himself power to take over the world or whatever. And it was really
you've got the voice for this. You should do the Jason Blood rhyme at the bottom of that page. You should do that. You've got the voice for this. You've got voice talent. Go for it. Gone the form of man.
I was trying to get to where I could see it, but yeah. Gone the form of man. Rise the demon. Etrigan.
Nice.
There you go. Whoa,
Nicely done.
Perfect. There you go. Here all week, don't get tippy.
It is a little blurred in that, so I'll. I have no patience for brawl. Stay you back while I free them all. And it's a rhyming demon, and even
it always rhymes.
Even the antagonist. Yeah, but even the antagonist
does it all the
like,
time.
What a disappointment. Here I thought I had more humans to consume, but a rhyming demon. It's funny that even he was like, but yeah, Etrigan is a really cool character, always rhyming. Just he is a demon, but he's usually seen on the side of good, like 99% of the time. Like he teams up with Batman because he started out in Gotham. So it's
Jason Blood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a really fun character. It's a real. I just get some kind of childish delight from it because he's a super powerful person that always wants to lay down a rhyme and put in a beat, and just
don't give them ideas; they'll make him a rap star.
Oh no! Oh god! Multi-class into bard.
Oh, shit.
Instead of being full. But yeah, it's a really fun book. I wish they did more with Etrigan rather than just the occasional Halloween story.
Yeah, but so, they have a lot of characters that they just don't know what to handle and do with. Yeah, so
there are so many DC characters.
So for me, you could have Jason Blood as leader of Justice League Dark. Put him in charge of that.
That would be okay.
Constantine, Swamp Thing, and Zatanna. That's it. You don't need the Chimp. You don't need Wonder Woman. Just do that.
Yeah, Detective Chimp didn't really make sense. Man-Bat was...
Well, Man-Bat's that thing, isn't he? They went through that. Do you remember when Detective Comics had the team of characters and Clearface was on it? Then they tried Justice Odyssey, and then they put Darkseid on it. DC went through this trend of like putting a bad guy on the good guy's team.
They're trying to, make the bad guy a good guy, type thing. I hate when they do that. Just... I don't want redemption stories for the villains.
So
sorry.
So you hate stories where the bad guys become good guys.
I don't like.
So when what about good guys becoming bad guys? Because we see that in DC versus Vampires, and we can all agree that DC versus Vampires is one of the best stories that has come around.
Yeah,
in a pretty good while.
I'll agree that it's a really good story, but I'll also agree with Freyja. I think it's lasted a tad too long.
Yeah, like it's fine if it happens once or twice, but like DC, and we've said this about a couple different things, is they start like everyone starts doing it with everything, and it's just like beating the dead horse, and they do that with a lot of different ideas. But like, didn't we read this in another book?
Yep.
Recently, it was one. Yeah. It's just, and that's what's annoying about it. I'm like, you kill the originality and the fun of what this story was because it just feels like everyone in the office has a dartboard. They're like, okay, this is what we're doing in all of our books. Break,
So it's like, I tell you when it kind of popped in my head. Justice League were dealing with a virus that made people super powered. At the same time, Batman was dealing with the Joker virus. Yeah. And you're like, what's going on? And now everybody, not just DC, but everybody's doing multiverse books. It's like, I'm done with it.
And you forgot about the Flash and everyone getting Flash powers.
Yeah, it's just, I'm done. All right, back to this. So, for me, Etrigan was a really good read. I enjoyed that one. Good shout, Matthew. I liked the look of the Phantom Stranger, although there was bits that were a bit wonky. But the one that I went for that I thought was my favorite, just the Society of America in the Midnight Hour, written by Charles Skaggs, art by Tom Mandrake, who was a classic DC artist from years ago. Colors by Justin Frokowicz and letters by Josh Reed. There we go. So this is kind of like this is my ballpark. This is old school characters looking like old school characters.
It's your era.
Yeah, it is. And I felt
emphasis on old.
Yeah, thank you.
Look, I had to fit in the classic.
I know, but still, it was also good seeing Black Canary in her original outfit with the fishnets and the boots and the little jacket. And I think to myself, that's what Black Canary should look like. Does she go get taken out dead easy? Yeah, she does. But overall, this is the kind of Justice Society story that you'd get. You know, Dr. Fate comes in, saves the day eventually. Midnight gets to use his blind powers. It's just a good, fun story. And, you know, I would read, and I've said this before, I would read Justice Society of America over Justice League any time, any day of the week. There you go. Cool. All that's missing is Power Girl, but as we know, she's not an original JSA member. She's the second gen.
Yeah.
I do. Do we have time for me to put in one little thought about this whole thing overall?
Yeah, sure.
I thought it had good stories in it. It was a good Halloween themed book series. But the one thing that bothered me is that we had not one but two stories that were thrown in here that were not necessarily Halloween themed, but more like we're giving notice to an ecological issue where like cats are responsible for disease in Hawaii and they need to be shipped out because they're not natural there. Or the Swamp Thing, where it was like the green is always going to grow back no matter how much damage we do to them, which of course that's on par with.
I was like, that's just Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
but it didn't. They had such jarring. They weren't in theme with this book.
I get where you're coming from. I mean, if you want to talk theme, Kelly Jones' art on the last story with Deadman, spot on.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Yeah, the thing with the Selena and whatnot, their whole vacation, the Sirens, I guess, that one, I agree, it didn't fit with the Halloween theme at all. So it was out of place. I did enjoy the story, but yeah, the whole cat thing, I was like, well, that kind of slapped me across the face out of nowhere because it was like, what is going on? You know, and so
spooky, scary cat skeleton.
Yeah, it was just, it kind of came out of nowhere. I thought, well, if it was its own book, like a one-off or something, that would have been fine and expand on it. Maybe that would have been fine. But the whole, I didn't think it was, the cat thing kind of came out of nowhere. Like I said, it just kind of like hit me and was like, what the? But
Green Lantern one. Why the Green Lanterns?
Yeah, and so it was just kind of, it was out of place. I don't know why it was in here, and it should have been something else. I did appreciate their designs though in that one. I liked Catwoman's design, and I liked the bringing back the purple outfit. I like that, and the ears were toned down, so it's not so long Halloweeny. But I agree, it didn't make sense. Besides cats and Halloween, but that's not really Halloween.
Just a quick shout out to the cover artist. Cover artist was John McCrea with Mike Spicer. I think this cover looks the absolute bomb, even though Poison Ivy's only in it for the one story, I suppose. But the rest, I think it just works really well. So well done for the cover on that one. Good job.
Yep. Very good.
Cool. Right. Last but not least, the winner of the book with the longest title of the week goes to can't say it all in one go. I have to take a deep breath for this one. It is Dark Crisis, Worlds Without Justice League, Green Arrow. That's
True love never dies.
Yeah, true love.
That time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah. So this is.
So I'm a spider. So what? Anime titles, they get kind of ridiculous.
They get weird, like.
You should go for it now. So it's written by Stephanie Phillips, who you may be aware has been writing the Harley Quinn book for a while. You've got Clayton Henry on art. Colors are by Marcelo Maiolo. Letters are by Troy Peters. There is a second story to this, written by Dennis Culver. Nick Fayel is on art. Romulo Fajardo Jr. is on colors, and Troy Peteri is pulling double duty on the letters. Now, the reason why I picked this book is I've been reading Dark Crisis. In the most recent issue, they said something along the lines of, it's not Pariah, something's twisted his mind. And then a little box it says, read the Green Arrow book. Well, I've read the Green Arrow book. I couldn't find jack shit about what was going on in the main book. However, it is a Green Arrow, and where you get Green Arrow, you get the Black Canary. And saying that I'm a Canary fan is an understatement. After all, this is the only reason why I've been reading Deathstroke Inc.
Yeah.
At least the first 6 issues. There you go. So the premise of the story is that the Justice League is dead, but they're not really dead. What they've done, Pariah has sent them onto their own perfect little world, and whilst they're living there, he is using his powers to drain that world, thus creating a multiverse. All right? So the story here is that Green Arrow's on his perfect little world. He's in Sherwood Forest practically with all
he's
the
Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's Robin Hood. And he's got all the other arrows with him there. Chaos ensues, as you'd expect, because it's this. He goes through a crowded bit, comes across the city, and bumps into Black Canary. Things go a bit wary after that. They have a fight, they have another fight, and so on and so forth. The second part of the book is predominantly about why these two follow each other and what they have to do to stay together. Because no matter where she goes, he will follow. Which brings me up to the next question. Is Green Arrow and Black Canary the best couple in the DC universe?
It really depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you two, so go for it.
I would say no.
No.
Who is then?
I have a thing for Wonder Bat.
Ma and Pa Kent.
Oh yeah,
Matthew. 10 bonus points to Matthew. Forgot about Ma and Pa Kent. Well done, sir.
Ma and Pa Kent are sweet.
Best.
I also have a thing for Wonder Bat, but
I love Wonder Bat.
The Canary outfit is very much of the Arrow TV show.
Yeah.
So not a lot of fishnets on that one. It gets worse in the second book, where it becomes a little bit futurescape, or future state, I should say. All angles and stuff. Art-wise, I don't think the art cuts it on either section, to be honest. I think it's quite generic and quite samey. Freyja, you were talking about characters that aren't done well. Well, I think sometimes Canary falls into that. It really annoys me, considering how prolific she can be as a character. But overall, as a testament to these two characters, story-wise, at least it works for me. Where should we go? Freyja, what did you think of this book?
I liked it. It was very nice. I have no idea I'm not following the Crisis books, because at this point I'm like, too many event books. Too many.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong, because I'm also, what else am I reading? Future, what's it called?
We just finished DC's vampire thing. That was,
life
changing. And then we had
Beyond Flashpoint. I'm reading that.
Yeah.
Wait, DC versus Vampires is over?
No, it's still.
No, I'm just
got about 3 left to go. 3 left to go.
Okay.
Because whenever I think event books, I'm like, something that happens every couple of years. So we have multiples of these like every single year, and I'm like, how is this all canonical in one universe if all this crap's constantly going on? Because we had a part where the Justice League and everyone turned into zombies, and then we had one where everyone turned into vampires, and then we had Dark Metals, and we had Doomsday Clock, which took forever.
I feel exactly the same about the current Batman story.
It's too many.
Batman, he's lost Gotham to failsafe. I'm like, well, hold on a second. Didn't he lose Gotham to the Joker not so long ago?
Yeah, it's just and then they're saying that there's going to be something else that's like another Joker war, and I'm like, ugh, can we go back to like not having these giant world crises and just have Batman be a detective again, or just have everyone just kind of chill out in their own cities for a while, because this is just exhausting. Like oh, buy this book so you know what's going on. I'm like, how about no? How about I don't buy any of them?
Yeah,
because this is ridiculous. You know, and they had the Wonder Woman thing where Wonder Woman's mom was murdered, and you had to read like a million different books just to know what the hell's going on. Because they're like, oh, it's only 2 issues. You read issue 1, she gets murdered, then all of a sudden you pick up issue 2 and everyone's fighting. You don't know what the hell's going on. You're like, what just happened? And like, well, you have to read Yara issue this. You have to read Nubia issue number this. You have to read Wonder Woman issue number that. You know, I had to read like 8 other books to even know what was going on in this 2-issue book. I'm like, that's bullshit. You are hiding an 18-issue series under the guise of a 2-issue, event, and it's bullcrap.
That's not so. I mean, that's bad. You're right. It is bullcrap. But what makes it worse is when the schedule says that part 16 of that book's not coming out for another 2 months, but 17 shipped yesterday. You're like, so what? So now I've got to hold on to 17, 18, and the end book because I've got to wait till the next. Oh,
it's just ridiculous.
So I must admit, I haven't read any of the Dark Crisis tie-ins. This is the first one, and the only reason I picked it up is because I'd gone down to my local store. I only had 1 comic in that week, and I saw this on the rack, and it's a Black Canary thing, so I picked it up. And that was it. That's the only reason why I bought this book. So there you go.
It's Black Canary.
Yeah.
Yes, what can I say? I'm a simple man with simple tastes. Matthew,
I respect it. I think everything's been said. I was going to try to chime in, but you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Can I just say, I love Green Arrow as Robin Hood. Sorry.
It's really good. But yeah, there's so many things going on with the DC that I agree with you. I pine for the days where it's just Batman being the detective. And we saw that recently where they started doing it again recently. It was like 1 or 2 issues where Batman was just a detective. What the Riddler story that we discussed. That was amazing. One bad day with Riddler.
Yeah, it was good.
That was an amazing story. And I loved it. I loved it. And I want to see more of that.
Did you read One Bad Day Two-Face?
I have not.
Freyja, have you read that?
I heard not so pleasant things about it.
Yeah, there's a twist in it that is so blatantly obvious. It'll be like, what? I mean, I told my wife the story. I showed her it as I was doing the review for CC. She was like, but, and then she nailed it like 2 pages in, and she wasn't even reading it. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. The Riddler one, Matthew, you're absolutely right. The Riddler one is par excellence. It is one of the best books this year DC have put out by far. But interesting to see how they'll go with the Penguin, and then we'll go from there. Excuse me. Whew.
No.
You will excuse me. All right, there you go. There you go. I can remove you from the pod. It's fine.
I know.
So there you go. 4 books. 4 up, 4 down. Thank you as always.
Yeah.
And Matthew.
Don't forget for a good time.
I'm always here.
Me too. Don't forget to check out UCPN for all your favorite shows, including Freyja.
K-pop Cosmos. We release one episode every month. This month's taking a little bit of time. My co-host is out of town, so but we're gonna try to get one up for everyone for Halloween. No, it's not gonna be a Halloween special, unfortunately. But yeah. It's not. We don't have enough time to like plan all that.
I'm sure the worth will be worth the wait, definitely.
Yeah, it'll still be fun. So look forward for that. And yeah.
Cool. And Matthew?
The Jank Think Tank. I mentioned it earlier in the show. We recently uploaded a video where we're discussing and talking about the Warhammer 40K Commander precons that were released, and we did that gameplay with that with 2 special guests. One of them is very near and dear to my heart.
It wasn't me. In case it wasn't.
You're far and distant away from my heart. You're like on my right
shoulder. You're on another continent.
Oh. Love you, Johnny. Look, like I said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So whenever he inevitably kicks me off.
All right,
yeah,
of course,
come by and see the show.
There you go. Don't forget to check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show for everything that's older, like me, for all your old school comic books. And of course, if you're interested in any of these books, check out Comic Crusaders website for latest reviews, not just on DC books, but across the board. Indie books, Marvel books are all on there. Go check them out. Excellent. Gentlemen and lady, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
I've been your host, Join the Machine Hughes, and as always, adios.
Bye-bye.